Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our /justNoMIL. In today's episode, update to DH reported missing because we went on vacation. MIL wants child's SSN, for what? My FMIL cannot handle rules about my newborn. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Update to DH reported missing because we went on vacation. I want to thank everyone for the kind and helpful advice. When I posted on here the other day, I could barely even think straight about what the hell was going on. Normally I'd blame the 7-month baby brain that I have going on, and while that seems to be a big factor in every other part of my life, this I blame on Mel, who has pulled so much shit over the years, but this topped them all in terms of sheer annoyance. Yes, she has done worse, and yes, we still put up with her because neither DH nor I are very confrontational people. We are very go with the flow, and rug sweep white people, but I can't take this anymore. With baby number 3 almost here, I want some stability in my life. So without further ado, here is how we dealt with this week's shit show. The two biggest pieces of advice I got over and over again was put pressure on the police to deal with the missing persons report properly, not just put it aside, and also to report MIL to Adult Protective Services, in an "is she mentally stable" kind of way. Well, first thing I did the next morning was make DH march down to the police station and get an outcome that worked for us. From the sounds of it, the police weren't impressed as it was officially closed, but a few well-worded sentences and a couple of calls from our lawyer friend from college who agreed to a favor, and all of a sudden the missing persons report is expunged from DH's record, and the fact that MIL has filed it is on hers. We tried to see if we could press charges for filing a false report against DH, but the general consensus from that was that it was a waste of time and money. When our lawyer friend agreed with that, we knew that wasn't a fight worth taking, so we got them to make an official note that we wanted to press charges but were advised against it. MIL caught wind of this in the 2 days it took us to sort all this shit out and tried to come to DH and I to guilt trip us into letting it go. We suspect the police gave her a heads up because we hadn't actually told anyone that we were planning on doing that. She tried to say that having that on her record would mean that she would go to jail. She really laid it on thick for someone who was oh so worried that DH wasn't available during those 10 days. After a fairly decent argument, I made it pretty clear that she could have it one way or the other, but not both. She threw a tantrum that made my 3.5-year-old look like an angel in comparison, screaming and shouting, but we just dealt with it like we do our daughter, sat and waited until she was finished. Once she realized she wasn't getting the attention she wanted, she stopped pretty quickly. As for an APS/medical check, well, we tried. We were basically told to take it up with MIL's primary care provider, as she is only in her 60s and hasn't had any other reported incidents. They are going to do diddly squat. The reason she hasn't had any other reported incidents is because we've never reported them before. Which of course is only because DH and I both come from families where things like family business is not shared with outsiders. Yeah. Not anymore. I really wish we had started reporting all this shit years ago, but hey, it's never too late to start. We know we're in for a rough road, but DH and I have decided that our ultimate goal is NC. The only way that is going to be enforced is if we ever get a restraining order, and the only way that's going to happen is if we give MIL enough rope to hang herself with. It's going to be a long year, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it to protect my children. They deserve better than all the shit MIL has pulled on us over the years. Good for you. You guys can do this. And yeah, it's going to get rough. If the whole family's been rug sweeping for years, MIL isn't the only one who's going to be pissed. Things aren't just being ignored anymore. You keep your eye on that end goal, safety and security for you and your kiddos. Over the years we've put up with less and less rug sweeping, and the rest of DH's husband's family are coming to the end of the ability to put up with her shit too. Mostly I'm worried about a few of MIL's sisters who are way worse than MIL, and we are NC with them and have been for a while. It is going to be crazy though. I'm not looking forward to it, but the end result will be worth it. I'd have a chat with someone, lawyer friend, about a cease and desist letter, if you get a chance. It allows you to firmly set in writing behaviors that you want her to stop. If that means contacting you entirely, then so be it. This letter shows official proof you've asked her to stop, and if she doesn't comply, you have more solid evidence for ROs and the like. The letter is more of a step in the right direction and good evidence. MIL wants child's SSN, for what? First post. Hopefully I'm anonymous with this generated username? I don't know how to use this site. My MIL insisted we give her my child's SSN, but refused to tell us why, saying it would ruin the surprise. My child is turning 1 soon, and I'm imagining/hoping she's trying to do a birthday gift. She said it is not for a bank account. Here is the convo. I go to the kitchen because she asked for lunch to be made, and they stay in the living room. MIL, does child have a SSN? Husband and me, yes, you get it in the mail from filling out papers at the hospital. MIL, oh, that's different from when I had kids. Well, can you send me her SSN? Husband, for what? MIL, I'm not telling. Husband, what's it for? MIL, it'll ruin the surprise. Husband, well, can you just tell us? It's their SSN. Is it for a bank account? MIL, no, it's not for a bank account. Husband, then what is it? MIL getting irritable, well, can't you just trust me? Husband, if you tell us what it's for. MIL in a sing-songy tone, new. Me from the other room in the same sing-songy tone, then we're not giving it to you. MIL, fine, I guess we'll figure something else out then. She has made jokes about getting rid of me and my husband and taking my child to move to another state with them. Jokes about the nursery she will make. Jokes that my child is hers and jokes that she looks good for having just given birth. Literally said all this in the hospital and every time we've seen her since. Yes, I tell her to stop, no she doesn't because it's a joke. Except her cousin gave her a card that said, for the new parents, addressed to her and her husband. All that to say, I'm paranoid about her taking my baby and everyone says I'm overreacting. We don't leave my baby alone with her or any of their family, and my family knows not to let her alone either, but the thought is still in my head. What could she need the SSN for besides a passport? Because that's where my mind is going, and I don't want to go there. Help woozy face. Edit to clarify, we did not and are not giving it to her. After talking about it with my husband, no reason will warrant us giving it to her, even if it's a nice gesture. Edit 2, Reddit won't let me reply anymore, but I am taking everyone's advice and I've read every comment. My husband is dragging his feet with our will because we're in the middle of renovations and trying to move, and he is just generally busy all the time. His brain doesn't recognize how important it is because it's hard for him to imagine things that aren't in the present, and this isn't the only thing. I will push harder. We agree on the will contents, thankfully. MIL is absolutely unhinged and you all are amazing for making me feel like I'm not crazy. I'll update after the birthday party where she will likely announce the gift she wanted to give us and make it our fault she couldn't. I'll also let you know if she reaches out asking again. She's usually not so easy to shut down, it seems she has another plan. Addressing the taking your baby point, please make sure you have a will which states who will get your child in case something happens to you and your husband. There is nothing she needs your child's SSN for. If it was for legitimate purposes, adding child to her will, opening a savings account or buying bonds, then she would tell you. Since she is being shady, I think she wants to open new credit card accounts because she probably has maxed hers out. If it's not for a bank account, it's fraud. I love how some people think it's a bank account and the rest of us immediately went to credit fraud. I personally wouldn't be giving her anything including but not limited to SSN and baby access. There is no chance I would trust anyone but the other parent of my child with my child's SSN. You are not paranoid or overreacting. Next time she make the joke about getting rid of you in DH and taking your baby, stare her straight in the eyes and say, that is not a joke, that is a death threat. Then tell her if she ever says it again you are filing a police report and getting a restraining order. Most sensible response yet. That's exactly what's going on here. OP, you are not overreacting. Please OP, consult with a lawyer and the police about this. Be prepared for her to start making false reports to CPS. My FMIL cannot handle rules about my newborn. My newborn has a respiratory virus. He has been sick since late last week. I took him to the doctor on Tuesday and she said it's an upper respiratory infection. My fiancé is getting ready to go out of town for work for a little over a month, so he wanted his parents to come see the baby before he left. I asked him not to because the baby is already sick from the last time they were over. He ignored my protests and they came over. We have had issues in the past with his mom, who was a smoker and alcoholic, kissing the baby, and both his parents not washing their hands before holding my son. My son is 2 months old. I sent her a text message last week asking her to stop trying to kiss the baby and putting her face next to the baby, and she never responded. So today I was already in a bad mood because they came even though he is sick, and she immediately starts putting her face in my son's face. Then I said, "Don't put your face that close to the baby's face, he is already sick. He has basically no immune system and is already fighting a virus." My fiancé's dad started yelling at me that I was full of shit and to fuck off, so I told him to get out of my house. Then his mom starts saying that I am mentally ill and that she has been kissing babies for years. My fiancé just sat there. So I reiterated that the pediatrician said not to have anyone but his parents getting that close to his face, and she stands up, still holding my newborn, and gets in my face yelling at me. Repeating the same things, telling me I ruined her first Christmas with her baby because I wouldn't take the baby there as my Bill and still had influenza type A, that I didn't appreciate the baby shower she threw enough. I never asked her to have one, I told her my mom was having one. So I take my baby back, and sit down and she gets in my face even more. I reiterate that it's what the pediatrician said and that if she doesn't get out of my face I will hit her, which I am not proud of, but she was scaring me, and my son. My fiancé got her to go into the garage to smoke a cigarette, and so I start nursing my son to help him to calm down because I assumed she was leaving. She then storms back inside and tries getting in the baby's face to talk to him while I am nursing him. Keep in mind that my breast is out just hanging in the wind. So I tell her to back off because I am exposed and I want privacy, and she starts yelling at me again saying that his face is covering my breast. Which it wasn't. Saying I am deliberately feeding him right now to keep her away from him, that he just ate an hour ago. I wouldn't even want my own mother that close to me while I am breastfeeding my son. She finally backs off and goes off to be *tch about me to my fiancé, and he literally never once said to stop or leave, just kept telling her and his dad to stay. I feel crazy. Why are you with the uncaring man? You have a month to get yourself together, you need to leave. He is not husband material, he'll never protect you. Your fiancé going out of town for work is the perfect time for you to pack your stuff and go. He does not care about being a good partner or father, but rather a good son. Do not marry him. Yes, I am yelling. I agree, he sounds like a twat. Sorry OP, get out now. Your baby will be fine if you split now, don't wait until it will affect him. You got a fiancé problem. You tell him he respects his child's needs first or y'all can leave and he can be alone. Why is he acting like he cares about his parents more than his helpless baby? WID, tell him he is stupid right now. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.